This has been a massive market shift over the last few months. Many of you may be wondering what is going on and where are we headed. As realtors, we do our best to navigate the market's next move and give the best advice we can, but sometimes it's important to bring in other industries that correlate with real estate to get some even better market knowledge. Hi, I'm Megan Proper, and today I am really excited to bring on Michael Mullis, the president and principal broker of the Mortgage Teacher in London, Ontario. Mike and I go into in-depth professional information about the housing market from the financial perspective. This long interview will be broken down into several videos as a 5-part series, making it easier to watch at your pace. In this video, we'll discuss the burning question of what's going on with the market and a discussion about the possible recession. Mike has over 10 years of industry experience, and I have personally worked with him for my own mortgage. He has managed 6 different offices and funded over $300 million in residential mortgages. Let's get him on and get this show on the road. Welcome, Mike, and thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today and giving the listeners some professional financial advice through this changing market. I'll let you introduce yourself a little, and then we can get into some very common questions my clients have asked over and over and some general knowledge you think is beneficial to share with everyone. Go ahead, Mike.
No problem. So, thanks for having me on. Thank you very much, Megan.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm really excited actually to start this and hear it from your mouth what is going on, because sometimes there is a big dip between what a realtor says and what it actually comes from a mortgage agent. So it's really nice to have it right from your mouth.
No problem. I mean, and then when you got this side, you have, one bank might have one theory and another bank might have another. So we have to basically collect all the information between.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a burning question you want to get out?
Yeah, the elephant in the room basically is what is going on in this world right now with the changing market. And basically, are we headed for a recession?
Okay. Well, that's quite a bit in that, but
yeah,
I'll get right to the recession part first, just to answer it, because that was the tail end of your question. And a recession, I mean, yeah, naturally, but what is a recession? Look it up. It's 6 months of a downturn in a market. 2 quarters, 6 months. In Canada, that's what we call winter. Now, with that being said, we can all be honest, for a couple of years before this last year, we all maybe spent a little more than we're used to. Now we're going to wind down a little, so you're going to see a slowdown. So recession, first of all, I want your listeners to know it's not doom and gloom. Recession is a short period of time. And, that's what you could see. You could see some people tightening the money a little bit. With that being said, we've been locked up a lot, and a lot of people are already starting to book next summer's vacations, things like that. So let's wait and see. Some people over the winter might kind of hold back. And I mean, I must be honest, the news is pretty full of the word recession. And usually when the news gets out there and is flooding it, let's be honest, that's somehow kind of what happens. So the recession word, we might see a slowdown, but that's about 6 months. So not too long. And that's heading, towards the beginning of 2023.
Yes. And I guess in that sense is where, you're seeing it before I'm seeing it, but buyers pulling back on, backing out of the market, waiting for the market to drop again. What's going on with interest rates? I can't afford a house. So that's kind of where the word in the news really scares people, right? And you're the one that they have to come to first before they even come meet with me. So, what's your advice on, let's say, a first-time home buyer coming with those scary thoughts in their head?
Well, good point. And to, kind of merge that in with the first question you had, is a lot of them might have fear of the interest rates and, what have rates been doing? And obviously the rates have been on the news in the media about going up all summer, pretty much, July, August, September. And we just had that latest rate increase at the end of October. It was 0.5%. So let's just get rid of the rate talk, or help educate your listeners here.
Yes.
First of all, we have 2 things, and they're oranges and apples. We have a fixed rate out there, and we have variable rates. And when you hear the Bank of Canada is increasing their rate 0.75 or 0.5%, usually it's been by a quarter over the last 20 years. As you hear, this is the biggest increase we've seen in 40 years. So, untraditional as far as the rates going up. When you hear Bank of Canada interest rates going up, folks, that is just for your variable rate mortgage only. If you have a line of credit, your line of credit will go up. So if you have a fixed mortgage, it does not apply to that. Okay, so that's what I want to identify first, because when the media, the news, or even somebody calls me up and says, I hear rates are going up, first of all, you have to identify what interest rate are we even talking about here? And that's where the confusion begins in the media right away. Because in the summer, we had fixed rates starting to go up from, 2%, 3%, and now they're about 5.5%. The interesting question is, forever, we've had a stress test at 5.5% anyway.
Yes,
So,
I know.
Right, in a roundabout way, that's the difficult. But that's so rates are, people have been educated to get used to the 5% rates, and now they're there. Okay, so it's not that much of a doom and gloom, although it has definitely scared the market because we all jump out when it's 1% and 2%. I do have one comment to make. That the reason I think 2020 and 21 were so busy is we forget about 5 years ago. 2015 and 16, the 5-year fix was also down to 2%. And 80% of the country took a fixed mortgage or a 5-year deal back in 2015 and 16. So naturally, 5 years later, when they come up for renewal and the rates were 2% again, as we just went through, that's why it was such an explosion of people taking out money, because 80% of our country came up for renewal in that period of time. So as far as the fixed rates, I guess that's where I'm alluding to is they originally said that, and you can, as a realtor, you can definitely talk about this. We all agreed we had to put rates up to slow down the real estate market, right? I mean, we liked how busy it was to an extent, but 60 offers on one house, or, $60,000 over asking, like it was getting ridiculous. We had clients that put offers on 17 different homes and lost out on them all. I mean, that is unheard of and tiring. So that's not the market you want. We know that had to balance
tiring.
out.
Like, let's get it out of here. We're done. It's not
Absolutely.
fun.
Like,
it's not fun for us. I just want to say from the realtor side, it is not fun. That is not our job. We didn't sign up to lose 17 homes for you.
and it was so different to see, no, go ahead and pick your house first, buy one, and then you'll sell yours easy. Yeah. I mean, Southwestern Ontario has always been, you like that house, let's go and condition on me selling my house. Yeah. And I think I think we can all agree, or you help me out, but it seems the market has definitely slowed down. There's a ton of inventory and there's not that much demand. We're going into the winter. Naturally, winter, people don't want to move in the winter. They can't paint in the winter. They can't prepare their house in the winter. They don't even want to carry the furniture out in the winter.
Yeah.
So naturally, we kind of cool off. And I think, just so you do know about these rate increases, they've always said if it's going to, even the doom and gloom is saying that the overnight rate was going to get to 4%. And it's at 3.75. So even if we take these worst case scenarios, which as a consumer, that's what you want to do, I can see rates maybe going up another quarter, another half. If you look at Canadian, it should start to mellow out now. So they call in 2023, it's going to about stay the same. And then I think you're going to see decreases in prime and variable, the stuff you're hearing on the news. We'll see decreases throughout 2024 and 25. Why? Politics, a little bit. I mean, that's when the next election is, October 20th, 2025. Mm-hmm. So, the current party are going to see that we did all this to the country, change some things, and now they're going to look like the good guys and bring the rates down towards an election. So today's, a lot of people are looking into 2-year and 3-year fixed if they're going to take a fixed product, mm-hmm. or some are going variable with, the confidence that rates are going to come down and, they've enjoyed the low rates before. Yeah. So that's what I predict as far as interest rates, variable and fixed. It's a stock and bond market. Hard to say. They're more unpredictable, believe it or not. And I mean, when it comes to banks, we can all agree that it's expensive for a Canadian to live. Energy is up. Unemployment is not doing very well. So really, prime should be coming down the way our economy feels. Mm-hmm. And here's one small dilemma point I want to bring up. The US Fed. Our Bank of Canada rate, to a point, has to follow them within reason to keep our dollar equal value for our free trade agreement with them. Mm-hmm. That's, in theory, how it works. So that's the pressure that the economists are saying right now, saying, according to a country, we should be slowing down and not putting rates up. But US Feds put theirs up 0.75 a bit ago. So that puts pressure on us that we got to put it up something to stay with them. Yeah, okay, so that's what we're trying to watch.
So, mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's
too much.
No, that's exactly why I wanted you on here, because as a client of yours, what I really love is that you're a data guy. So like you can just watch graphs all day and know when rates are going to go up or down, and you don't have a crystal ball, neither do I, which is why we're here. But that's what trends are about. That's what, putting data into things to look at, can we help people get a little bit less fear moving forward, right?
It's because somebody called and said, I'm up for renewal next month. Here's what my bank offered. I was like, just go take that. That's fantastic. Like, we don't need to get every mortgage. We need to give Canadians advice to make sure they're making the best.
Tune into the next video for, is home ownership still achievable in this current market? And so much more. If you're looking for more information on talking to a mortgage broker, you can find the mortgage teacher and my contact info below. Talk to you soon. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.